Call to order this regular Board of Directors meeting for the Siloam Springs Board of Directors, February 15th, 2022. Roll call.
Sappington.
Here.
Smiley.
Here.
Burns.
Here.
Hunt.
Here.
Rissler.
Here.
Allen.
Here.
Carroll.
Here.
If you all will please stand with me at this time as Director Allen leads us in a word of prayer and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here this evening to help make the best possible decisions for the citizens of Siloam Springs. Thank you for giving us all the wonderful lives that we have and help us to appreciate what we have and to give grace to those who do not. We ask that you look after our leaders nationwide, statewide, and here as well, and look after our military here and overseas. We ask these things in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I would ask that anyone that has a phone or any electronic devices, if you would silence those at this time, please. At this time, we have a presentation. Philip?
Sorry, Madam Mayor,
Nothing?
nothing.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry, it's on the agenda, but there wasn't meant to be on the agenda.
Okay, thank you. Next is our public input time. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the Board of Directors regarding any item that is on the board's, not on the board's regular agenda? Please state your name and address, and you will have 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, Patrick Floyd, Morrison, Shipley, and Half. My understanding is I'm supposed to get up here and request this at this time. I might be wrong, I apologize. But I was going to request that on Ordinance 2122, your item F, that you consider the second and third reading.
That, whatever we get ready to.
Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if this was the public hearing or if there's one going to be
Nope.
read with this. So
But yes, that will come.
that's all I need.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Is there anyone else? If not, is there anyone that would like to address the board considering an item that is on our consent agenda? If there is not, we will move on to the consent agenda. Item A, regular meeting minutes, February 1, 2022. B, dedication of utility easements, 14800 South Highway 43. Item C, dedication of utility easements, 190 Highway 59 North. Item D, dedication of utility easements, 801 East Lake Francis Drive. Item E, 2021 destruction affidavit records. Directors, is there any item that you would like to have pulled from this consent agenda?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to pull letter E.
Sir? Anyone else? If not, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as read with item E removed?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Smiley. Yes. Burns.
Yes.
Hunt.
Yes.
Rissler.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Carroll.
Yes.
Sappington.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Director Allen, item E, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Mayor. I was curious on the last page of all the items before it gets to Water Department. We are wanting to destroy the Planning Commission and Board of Directors meeting videos prior to 2020. I would like to make an amendment that we just completely delete our destruction of any videos of meetings. simply because of the fact that we put them on YouTube now. There's no problem with space on putting them on YouTube. From my understanding, we left Granicus for a $35,000 savings that we paid them to go to YouTube because it's not a big cost. And so with YouTube being able to put our meetings and not be a problem with hard disk space, I don't know why we wouldn't keep them on as long as we can keep them on for years and years and years. Otherwise, it just looks like why are we destroying them with only having 2 years worth? The other thing I want to point out is that there are many times I've learned in the last year, and I've even seen it in years prior, that we do not have in the board packet the things that we actually have online for the public to see, the board packet. Many times there are not things included in the board packet because they are only presented to the board at the meeting, and the only record of them is the actual video and audio. So this is why I would like to make a motion that we remove the destroying of any meeting videos, period.
Is there any comment or discussion about the motion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I do have a question. So those meetings, those pre-meetings that were occurring at 5:30, are those part of the meeting that's going to be?
Those, the videos of those workshops
Mhm.
would be with those board of directors meeting videos, yes.
There's a lot of value in those meetings, a lot of information presented. I see David's point on that, and so I seem to agree with him on that one.
Well, Lisa, what I'm talking about as an example, March 17th of 2020, there was an East Main Street redesign update. There was absolutely nothing about that in the board packet. No written, no printed, nothing, no slides, anything. It was just a department head giving a design update. Therefore, the only record of that is on the video. And I've seen that on many other, where I'm looking through the board packet saying, well, where's the paperwork for what we're about to see? Well, there is none presented to the board. It's just what's presented there. Therefore, that's the only record. And if we're trying to destroy videos, it can look anti-transparent to the public that we're trying to get rid of something that there's no real reason to get rid of it.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, Lisa.
Yeah, and staff's put a lot of time and effort into the information that they're providing at those meetings, so they do affect our future. So yeah, I agree with that one.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I have a question for you, I guess. So how far back do we have videos from the Planning Commission and Board of Directors? It says we're going to destroy any prior to 2020, but how? So what do we have available now?
The state law requires us to keep recorded copies, electronic recorded copies for 1 year. I believe we wrote a policy not too long ago based on that of keeping them for 2 years. But before we can destroy anything, we have to bring it back for the board. I know that online, on the web, those videos are up there for much longer than that. I don't know that Kevin can answer us. I need to, I wish Sam was here, because I think the issue is we have the hard original copy on a shared drive somewhere, and then as those get uploaded to the web, they're always going to be there and be potentially available. But the actual copy that we retain on our server is what is likely to be destroyed, if that's the board's pleasure. But I might need to double check with IT to verify that. So if you want that answer, I would ask that you table this, or at least let us pull it until we get that answer. I'm not opposed to keeping them if that's what the board wants. I felt that there was value in keeping them longer than what the state law, the minimum time that state law allowed, which is the extra year. But if the board wishes us to keep them longer, I think if they're online and they're available online and we can see how far back we can go, then that's that piece of it. But I need to double check that and verify that with IT. I don't have that answer today.
And that was my next question. If they're online, seems that they might be available for, regardless of what you do with.
Madam Mayor?
So, yes, David.
I called IT today. We have them back till 2014 on our hard disk. I'm not asking that those be put on YouTube. I'm simply asking that the city retain them in case there's any question that we wish to look at that is not in the minutes or the board packet. We have the actual video, audio that's there, as Philip said, on the city hard drive. Otherwise, by this vote, we're authorizing IT to destroy anything before 2020. So I'm just saying everything's fine with YouTube as it is, but, and we have 2 years, we have 2020 and 2021 on YouTube. But I just think it's better that the city hold them, since it's not doing anything now to hurt holding them. And in the future, that the ones that are on YouTube now just remain on YouTube. Like in 2025, we don't get rid of the 2020 or 2021.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move that we table this until we can get some more information from the city administrator regarding what's available and what's not.
Okay, so,
I
second that, okay. So,
Seconded?
Carol?
so, at this time, let's vote on the motion that we have to get more information. And then we'll go back to the original motion that David made. So at this time, we're going to vote on the motion to table this until next meeting, shall we say? And that our administrator will bring that information back to us at that time? Yes?
I do have a question, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Are we tabling for information regarding the videos or the entire information that we're deleting or
Well,
destroying?
I'm pulling, if I had if there was some, I'm pulling it because, I don't think there was a second, but it was just,
Right.
it was all contingent upon, the whole tabling is contingent on what I brought up, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
My
So-
understanding, I would like to see more information about the videos in particular, just the videos.
Okay, that's what I thought you meant.
And you second that, is that
Yes.
right? Okay. Yes, Philip?
Director Allen and board, I'm a little confused. So, Director Hunt, you're tabling the issue of the videos. That's it?
Yes.
Okay. And Director Allen, are you, I want to make sure I understand, are you comfortable if we move? I originally thought you were just going to pull the videos off this and then move this
Well,
forward.
that was my suggestion, and I thought the motion to table was tabling the entire issue until we learned about the video. I don't think you can table just a section of
What we could
the
do
decision.
to solve this would be if the motion was rescinded and the motion was changed to pull the videos off the destruction list, pass this, and have staff bring back more information regarding videos.
Yeah, that would be the best,
I would be comfortable with that.
yeah.
I will rescind my motion,
Right, and now, would you like to make a new motion?
and I will make a new motion.
And I rescind
And you
my
rescind your second.
There you go.
All right, now,
I will make a new motion. I move that we vote for this recommendation, but remove the section regarding the videos until we get more information from the city administrator.
Second.
Before you vote on this, I don't know that IT's right about what we have, because in years past, you voted on destroying these every year.
That's why I
So
have the
they
question to
may
begin.
already be gone.
Find out.
so that information is what you
think
will
that's
bring
what we
back
wanna
to
know.
us. Is that correct? Philip, yes, okay. So, do we have the motion? Renee, are you clear on the motion that we have?
Going to vote on the motion less the recordings.
Yes, that is correct. All right.
Very good, Renee.
Roll call.
Burns,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
Rissler,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Sappington,
Yes.
Smiley.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Next on the agenda is our ordinances. The first item is Ordinance 21-22, second reading, annexation of 53.8 acres, 200 block of Airport Road. Ben?
Yes, Madam Mayor, Ben Rhodes, City Planner. Before you is the second reading of the annexation, as you stated, for 53.8 acres out on Airport Road. The zoning of this will correspond with the approved preliminary plat that you approved last time on February 1st. Again, that would be the A1 piece along the Airport Road, and the remainder of the property as R1, the large lot residential. Since the first reading, staff's not registered any additional comments from the public, and we are available for any of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this time, before I open the floor for discussion and questions, I would just like to remind everyone that this ordinance is regarding annexation only. That's what we're looking at. So with that, is there anyone in the audience that would like to address the board concerning Ordinance 21-22 for annexation? Yes, sir.
Sorry about that, everybody.
That's fine. Please state your name and address.
Patrick Floyd, Morrison Shipley half. I'm representing the owner of the property, the developer. We've been working on this project for months with staff, going back and forth, and so we're just requesting the consideration that we go ahead and read the second and third reading. I mean, we're waiting on this decision to move forward in design, and so anything will help. So anyways, thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Is there anyone else? If not, directors, questions, comments?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, David.
I have traditionally been against any combined reading unless it is a matter of bookkeeping or just city internal for something minor, or if it is related to something that is an emergency. So I do not support doing this for its second and third reading.
Thank you. Anyone else?
And I'll just
Oh,
say
I'm
the
sorry.
reason that we have it separated is to allow the public over any of those three meetings to come and speak.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Brad.
you know, I don't mind on development on this one, but I think the developer needs to be aware of what's happening in that area, and it's creating quite a bit of change. And I know you've gone the extra mile to meet with the POA or HOA out there, but I think it needs to run its course. And we have we'll be attending AML. I know the city's done some work. The mayor signed a letter. We have some concerns with RDOT, and so we need to. You know, I don't want to stir the pot any more than it already has, and I'm sure you guys have some other projects, and so sometimes patience is worth it, and in this case, that is the case. So, but I appreciate you coming tonight, and I also would like the three readings. But thank you.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, Carol.
There have been times when I have voted to have the second and third reading at the same time, but I think this is a very sensitive issue. I think there's a lot of things in the works, and I would like to see this go through the three readings. Not that I'm not against anything. I just want to see this go through the full course.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, do I have a motion to place Ordinance 21-22 on its second reading, suspending the rules and reading title only?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Hunt,
No.
Rissler,
Yes.
Allen,
Yes.
Carroll,
Yes.
Sappington,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes.
Burns.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Ordinance number 21-22, an ordinance accepting the annexation of certain territory at the 200 block of North Airport Road to the city of Siloam Springs, Arkansas, and assigning the same to a ward.
Thank you. Next is ordinance.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
can, I am sorry, I didn't completely understand what I was doing just then. I agreed that we needed to put this on the third reading, and so I voted incorrectly. And I just want to state that for the record.
You would like to change your vote?
I would like to change my vote, and I am sorry.
Thank you, Mindy.
Thank you.
Don't know if you can or not.
I know, that's terrible. I spaced out for a second, but I agreed with the things that others said about needing to put this on a third reading, but I too appreciate that you were here.
Renee, you have that?
Thank
Next,
you.
ordinance 22-05, second reading, amending section 102-21 of the City Municipal Code, rezoning from A1 to R4, 300 block of North Simon Sager Avenue. Ben?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. This is also an ordinance on its second reading. This is a rezoning ordinance for 17.27 acres, as you stated, going from the A1 agricultural zone to R4 multifamily. We have not received any additional comments since the first reading, and we stand ready for any of your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone in the audience that would like to address ordinance 22-05? Yes, sir. If you'll state your name and address, please.
Mayor and Board of Directors, Terry Burris, architect of Little Rock, Arkansas. I am requesting consideration of combining the second and third readings on this rezone. We are anxious to close on the property and start the planning process immediately with city staff so that we can move on into a construction phase hopefully very soon. And I'm just asking y'all's consideration on combining that so we can move forward.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Directors, comments, questions?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I know what we just said, but I think this one lacks. There's no impact to, not only there's no housing out there that we speak of right now, and I've spoken before. I see the future of Simon Sager as a nice connectivity piece. The location of the rezoning on here lends itself to just a lot of positive things, and I would like to see the location of the high school, location to shopping, connectivity, and all throughout Siloam, and so I'm in favor of letting them have the second and third readings so we can move forward with this project. Thank you.
Madam Mayor?
Yes, Carol.
I do feel the same way. As I said, I have voted before for the second and third reading at the same time. I don't think this has the sensitive issues that the other one had, and I'm in favor of doing the second and third reading.
Yeah. Anyone else? If not, do I have a motion to place ordinance 22-05 on its second and third readings, suspending the rules and reading title only?
So moved?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Rissler,
Yes.
Allen,
Abstain.
Carroll,
Yes.
Sappington,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Hunt.
Yes.
Motion is approved. Philip?
Ordinance number 22-05, an ordinance amending section 102-21 of the Siloam Springs Municipal Code, City Zoning Map, rezoning from A1 to R4 property located at the 300 block of North Simon Sager Avenue.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 22-05?
So moved?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Allen,
Abstain.
Carroll,
Yes.
Sappington,
Yes.
Smiley,
Yes.
Burns,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
Rissler.
Yes.
Motion is approved. At this time, we will move on to our staff reports. That would be the administrator's report. Philip?
Thank you, Madam Mayor and Board. Two expenditures to report, both in the fire department, one for the community risk assessment for $34,500, and then repairs to ladder truck 4 for $36,973.30. We're all aware of the winter storm that occurred back earlier this month. The street division, the crews in the street division spent almost over 600 hours on 12-hour shifts plowing the snow and putting down salt and sand. And they put down almost 113 cubic yards of material, and that labor and material cost the city just over $18,500. But I said it last time, the last board meeting, and I want to say again, I thought our street crews did an excellent job of cleaning the streets and getting them in a condition that we could all use them. And everybody that I talked to that was over in the corridor talked about how bad the streets were over there. I don't know if they got more snow or more ice, but we got a lot of compliments from the members of the public that I talked to on how well our crews did as far as getting our streets clean from the snow and ice. I received news on Friday from UAMS that we did not receive the grant for the broadband feasibility study. They are, for some reason, have decided to stop giving out grants and not accepting any more applications. I don't know if ours was caught up in that. We did have a few minor comments about our application, and we're told that we could amend and submit again in the future, but at this time they were also not receiving any more applications. And speaking of the feasibility study, we are in the middle of our survey, our phone survey. I spoke to the consultant today. The phone survey is going good. They're about halfway through with the numbers that they need. And the consultant said that his staff had made some really nice comments about what a pleasure it is to work with our members of the public during that phone survey. So it just goes to show, I think, that we here in Siloam Springs are wonderful people to work with, because they say that we're very, very nice in that telephone survey. On our city website, we do have a link for additional surveys at the top of the city's website, www.siloamsprings.com. The very top of that is a link for Feedback Center that will take one to additional surveys. We ask that residents go to our website, take the residential survey for broadband, take the speed test so that we can see how fast your actual internet service is. And for businesses within this community, we have a business survey on that same page. And we would ask as many businesses as possible to take that. So we need that feedback for our feasibility study about broadband and how to move forward. So I just want to plug that again, Madam Mayor, and ask that all of you and members of staff let everybody know that you come in contact with that those surveys are out there. The 2021 and 2022 goals, we're working on the 2022 goals. Before we move into budgeting for 2023, every 2 years we try to get back together as a board, you do, and set goals for the next 2 years. So this spring, we would ask you to start thinking about goals for 2023 and 2024. Probably right after the first of the month, you'll start receiving some information from me about trying to schedule a workshop to formulate those goals. And as always, what I usually do is send you a list of ideas and ask you to come up with 10 goals or so and put them all on a list. And then as you get together and try to work through all those goals to figure out what are the top goals for this board. So just be on the lookout for some information from me concerning timing and how that process typically plays out. And then last on my list is COVID update. Per the Arkansas Center for Health Improvement, the numbers are looking better, as you can see. As of February 7th, The 14-day infection rate per 10,000 county residents have dropped by 54% in Benton County from 214 to 99 and dropped by 46% in Washington County from 206 to 112. And as of February 13th, the daily active number of cases per 1,000 county residents dropped to 5.55 in Benton County and 6.69 in Washington County. And as you can see on my spreadsheet for you, it was definitely higher, or has been higher in the past. I apologize because this one is not the latest, greatest one, so I apologize for that, but the numbers are getting better. I looked today at ACIC, and the numbers had even dropped as of today. So it was 4.64 for Benton County and 5.61 for Washington County. The only other thing that I would like to ask the board, at the last board meeting, you were given an updated version of your budget book. If you have the older version, I would ask that you turn that in just so we can have the 3-ring binder. So I don't know, some of you may have already done that, but if you haven't, please do. Madam Mayor, that's my report. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip. At this time, we'll move on to our director's reports. I would like to start tonight by saying that I want to say a big thank you to Arthur and his staff for the great Chamber of Commerce banquet that we had last Thursday night. It was very well done and very well attended, so thank you for that. I want to say congratulations to our pioneer citizen, which was Mary Nolan, and to our civic leaders, who were Lucinda Jinks and Audra Farrell. All 3 ladies very deserving of those honors. I would like to say thank you to our city crews who get out and take care of us, whether it's good weather, bad weather, whether we have citizens calling for very minor things to major accidents. We see their response time. We see they're always out there. They're always friendly. They're always eager to take care of our citizens, whatever department it is that is working. And so I want to say thank you again. I know we do that once in a while, but I think we need to do it all the time and let them know how much they're appreciated. So thank you to all of the staff. And with that, I will move to the directors. Mindy, we will start with you, and David, we will end with you.
Well, I think you read my notes, or you might as well have read my notes, because I had the same things to say. Thank you, Arthur, for the great Chamber of Commerce banquet. Love the theme, No Place Like Home. And congratulations to all those who were recognized. It was a fun time, and I'm so thankful for Camp Siloam and the facility that we have there, and encourage groups to keep using that facility. They love it when people are out there, and they're very hospitable, do a great job out there. And also, I want to thank you to the street crew for obviously preparing the streets for the winter storm, but also for going the extra mile to make some repairs in a couple of areas in Ward 1. I called about them, and I think they were complete within a couple of days, those repairs were, and so I appreciate that. I know it's hard to stay on top of it, and where one hole gets filled up, another one starts getting created, so I know it's a hard job, and thank you to those representing the fire department here tonight. Appreciate your work as well as that of the PD. Thank you very much.
Brad?
Madam Mayor, I did not attend the chamber banquet because I did Valentine's Day on Thursday, and Camp Siloam is not a place for that. We had conflicting schedules, but the outstanding civic leaders congratulate Louis Thomas's daughters. That's how I see those 2 folks. And I love Mary Nolan, long history with Mary Nolan, and I'm glad she got the Pioneer Citizen. And so I dug around the chamber side a little bit, and I just want to plant a seed for the 2023 budget. I don't want the chamber president to be surprised, but I'm going to start having a conversation as we get into the budget later on this year, considering cutting that funding with the chamber. They've got over 500 members. I think they're thriving well. Their makerspace is in hyperdrive. They do good work for those members, but I think it's time to take the taxpayer dollars and give it to the Pioneer Citizen, Mary Nolan, I will make suggestions that we would, for consideration, and I'm sure we'll have much healthy debate in the future. I would like to see 20,000 go to Siloam Museum so they can continue to grow and prosper and get more active in the school system, and then kick around the other 10, and I would like to see that go to Main Street to enhance the farmers market and some other projects on their agenda. Other than that, I'm glad everybody on Facebook, it just looked fantastic, and I'm happy for Cammie Heavner. I met with her Friday, and I'm excited for her position. And Alan Heavner, we have named him Gentleman as his official title. Chair Gentleman. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Marla?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I just have some comments and some real quick questions about some of the things that was on your director's report. The expenses for the ladder truck, did we have an accident, or is it just upkeep, or?
Part of it is an accident, part of it is upkeep.
Okay, thank you. Also, I need to find out from staff more information on the entrance of the 55 and up subdivision on Lake Francis, where that location is. I have had people question, and so I'd like to have some better designation on that.
And excuse me, on where the curb cut will be?
Where the entrance will be.
Off of Lake Francis?
Off of Lake
Okay.
Francis, and where that is going to be in accordance to how it's going to come out with the 3 driveways that the people have there to back out of. Also, the sign in the school zone on Tulsa Street that says don't pass in the turn lane. Ha, 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 if you're going east. I don't know what we're going to do there, but I'm not going to sit there and wait for people to turn right. So we're either going to have to address the issue that they don't need to make a right turn, and they're coming down Tulsa Street going east, making a right into Southside. And if that's backed up to the corner of Maple, do you want to sit in line there, or do you want to pass them in the turn lane? And the little sign that we've got going on now says don't pass in the turn lane. But that's very inconvenient. And Tulsa Street is a busy street. And I didn't know if there's a way that we could notify the public and give them some more information about brush pickup. There's lots of brush on the street side, and I know that we consider that yard waste and that it is picked up, is it once a month?
I'll have to double check. The brush pickup is once a month. It's usually the same beginning of it's once a month based on wards and 1 week during that month, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's very confusing for me, so, but I know that if we could simplify that, or even put a rotational calendar or something where the public could have access to it, because there's brush that's been setting out, and if we have storms or anything, it just blows it and just makes a mess.
I know it's on the website because I have to look at it once in a while. I don't have it in my memorized
Yeah, well,
in my head.
I didn't expect you to,
But I'll see if there's a way to make it more prominent as to how often that occurs. Okay?
Make it just simplified. Okay, thank you. And also, thanks to Arthur. The chamber banquet was very fun. Saw my kid Cam get something. He's doing really good work for you all. And Lindsay, she's just like another one of my kids. So take good care of them. They're good, and it was really fun, and we enjoyed the evening. So I'll pass the baton to Lisa.
Thank you, Marla. Lisa?
Al Gregory was the police chief here in Siloam Springs. He passed away this afternoon. I want to give my condolences to the family. They've done a lot for our community, and I ask that we all keep them in prayer and remember what Al Gregory did for our community as a police chief. He did a lot. If you look at what he did a lot. The chamber event I thought was amazing. What I liked is that I liked that it was presented. It's funny that you came tonight. I liked that you presented all the things the chamber has done for this community. The women businesses that have been started because of the chamber, the maker space, what it's doing for our youth, and not only our youth, but a lot for our youth. I mean, the adults can use it, anybody can use it. There's a lot of advantage to the chamber in our community, and I remember working at another city, the partnership between the city and the chamber, and it was a great partnership. Is that mine? It was a great partnership, and it's funny that Brad said what he said, because I have written down when Philip was given his comments on the 2023-2024 board goals, I said increase the chamber funding and make the museum part of the city. Those are the two comments I wrote down. And so I do see the benefit of the Chamber of Commerce in our community. They've helped a lot of people, and they've brought a lot of business. And with a partnership with the city, we would be unstoppable. We would grow with the rest of the cities. And the reason Bentonville, Fayetteville, and I've seen it personally, seen it firsthand, the reason they are is because they have that partnership and they work well together. And I would like to see that for our city. The last thing I had on here today, I was sitting on the highway and I was mesmerized because I guess the wind today was just perfect for the flags that we have down 412. And if you don't appreciate them, take the time to look at them. They are amazing. And the group that does that, I cannot thank you enough. We need to make sure we let them know how much we appreciate those flags and take notice of them. They're amazing. And they were amazing today in the wind. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Lisa. Reed?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a word of exhortation to all of us as we finish up a pandemic, that we continue to use common sense and just be who we know we're called to be. It's good to see some first responders here this evening. Glad to see you all. Glad you could join with us. And again, I'm very proud and glad to be a part of Siloam Springs. Thank you.
You read. Carol?
I want to thank the city staff for the quick response on cleaning the streets during the storm, because I'm one that I get petrified driving on the ice, and I got to go to work. Not that I wanted to go to work, but I didn't have near the problem of getting to the office. But not only the staff that does that, I just appreciate everyone that works for the city, our first responders, our fire department, our police department. You provide safety, you make us feel safe. So I appreciate all of that, and I appreciate everybody, all the staff that's within the city of Siloam Springs. Thanks to the chamber for a great banquet. Unfortunately, I was not able to go, first time in 30 years, and I hated that. But I heard it was wonderful, and it was right in my backyard. I could have walked over, but there were other reasons why I couldn't go. And I do appreciate having Camp Siloam in our area. It's just another venue that we need to think about when we're needing to celebrate. My condolences do go out to the Gregory family. When I first started, Al Gregory was the police chief, so I am sorry to hear that. I also want to encourage people to go online. If you do have a situation that the city needs to know about, please go online and use our Fix It page so that you don't have to stay on the phone, you don't have to talk to anybody, you just go online, report it, and they're very good about getting things done very quickly. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol. David?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I also wish to express my sympathies to the family of Al Gregory. I was on the city board for 8 years in the 90s with Al as police chief, and in fact attended the graduation of him graduating from the FBI Academy when he was chief. Me and City Administrator Mark Latham went to Washington, D.C. to just be there as a city presence for Al. And he really took our city to the next level when he became chief and modernized it. And he did a great job, and my sympathies go to Billy and the rest of the family. Also wanted to mention, if you haven't noticed, it just came out this afternoon, so maybe not, but go check out on YouTube the new video that our own Chris Sally here, local guy, 2040 comprehensive plan video that he made with the big idea boards, and some of them are in the front lobby, but he does a really good job explaining it, and now he's a star because he's on YouTube. But it's really good video, so it just hit my notification today, and I watched it, and it was really good, and I encourage everybody to go watch it. It's under the City of Siloam Springs. Marla, I totally get where you're coming from on Tulsa Street. I saw the same thing last fall when school started, and meant to mention it to our administrator. I would suggest that we work with the school to have them give up some land on the south side of Tulsa in front of the Maple and Southside Elementary, because they've got that huge swath of land where the crescent-shaped brick is. There's a whole bunch of land in front of it, and they could actually donate land for us to have a turn lane to take the traffic off of the street. So that's a suggestion I would like to see us pursue, simply because it's a real mess right there. And we do have some other messes like near the Family Aquatic Center, but at least we've tried to have a turning lane in front of Allen Elementary, and I know our administrator's addressing that as well. But that one on Tulsa, yeah, Philip, go ahead.
Just for the record, you added money into the 2023 budget for a traffic study both at this location and at the other location near the Family Aquatic Center. So
I knew that one. I didn't know about the one on Tulsa.
Director Sappington brought it up, and you added additional money. So we're in the process of working, trying to go through the process of hiring traffic engineers to do those studies in conjunction with the school. But I think before we move too fast, we need to get that traffic study done and see what those traffic engineers recommend to solve some of those problems.
Well, many times a consultant, an engineer, a study can be done, but time and again, we just need staff to go out there when school's being let out, because you could see, as a picture's worth 1,000 words, you can go out there and actually see day after day. And it may only be 30 to 40 minutes, but boy, it's a mess.
It is, yes.
And it's difficult. I mean, if our fire trucks had to go down Tulsa during that time, it would be all over the place. So, but thank you for letting us know. I was not aware of the one in Tulsa. Let's see here. I also want to thank Arthur Holbert, for President of the Chamber, for a great banquet. This is the first one I've been to in several years. And it was at Camp Siloam. We've got a wonderful facility there that was, we had Dust and Stream there. I went there for that and was really impressed how big it was, and how professional it was, how nice it was, and it was financially supported with the help from JB and John L. Hunt. And a lot of people don't realize that the Hunt family doesn't just donate on the corridor, that they help people in Siloam as well. And that was a really nice honor, because Camp Siloam helps everybody in the state. I went to camp there when it was Arkansas Baptist Assembly, and it's a nice facility. So that was a big step, and in fact, I hope you guys consider in the future, because I thought it went over very well. I thought you guys had a good meal, had real good banana cream pie. I know some people really enjoyed that. And I just thought everything went good. You really had a good turnout, and I'll just say that I was never in the past in supportive of chamber money chamber accepting taxpayer dollars. But there wasn't a great deal of push to bring in business, as there should have been. In fact, my brother brought in more business than the chamber did, year after year after year after year. And as mayor, I saw the city try to do a lot, but time and again, we didn't get the greatest of help from the chamber. And I see the exact opposite under your leadership, Arthur. And I think you're doing a great job. I really appreciate it. To learn that the chamber had been in such debt that they took on money, debt, just to pay the payroll, and that you got them out of that. I'm really, really impressed. That's a huge plus for the board and leadership of the chamber. And I had no idea any of that until I started asking some questions, and I'm really appreciative for your leadership. Next, I just wanted to point out that some people have asked me about my abstention on voting, things to do with Simon Sager Avenue, Street, Drive, whatever it is. The end of that's been being worked on is partly owned by my brother, and I was actually told that the state law changed in 2016, and I don't need to abstain, but I will argue that just because there is a state law of one thing does not mean that there is not a city statute, or even what many people don't realize, we have our own rules of order and procedure for the city board of directors that sits up here on our desk, and we have access to it any meeting. And the board of directors votes and approves this at the beginning of every year. And under Code of Ethics, letter G, number 2, conflict of interest, members of the board of directors and the mayor shall refrain from making use of special knowledge or information before it is made available to the general public, shall refrain from making or influencing decisions involving business associates, customers, clients, competitors, and immediate family members, and shall comply with all lawful actions, directives, and orders of duly constituted municipal officers as such may be issued in the normal and lawful discharge of the duties of these municipal officers. Pardon me. So just because something may be a state law does not mean that we don't have something locally that we have to abide by. And I just want to point out that that has been my reason for abstaining. And as I learned many, many, many years ago, when the Arkansas Municipal League came and ingrained in us about conflict of interest, it is not just the fact that there could be a financial conflict of interest. It is the perception that there could be a conflict of interest. It is both the actual conflict or the perception of a conflict of interest that must be at the top of mind for board members. And so I've never forgotten that, because that was back in the 90s that they came and met with our entire board and explained all of that. And I think that's all I had. I was sitting there taking some notes. And that was it. Motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Renee, did you get that second? Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We are adjourned.